live here and going live here. Hello everyone, Alina Lovett is with you and I hope you hear me well. As you can see on the title, it says that behind all the phenomenal creations is one fact. Creators, most all of them, were in love. This is how phenomenal creations, phenomenal businesses, this is how success is basically generated, because people were high from love. That particular subject came to my mind last night when I was communicating with my higher self, and I was led to watch one movie, very old Russian movie. Every Russian person is watching it on the New Year's, and um, for some reason I was brought to that. So I found that video thinking that I'm going to be watching this very old movie, but instead I kind of opened the history, the biography of that movie, and in that biography I discovered that this movie, very successful movie that is still being watched after 46 years of being made, this movie, the director, the script writer of that movie, he was in love. He was in love. And that was kind of a trigger and was kind of a chain for me to expand that knowledge, expand that information, and see the deeper meaning of being in love. What is it? What do we feel when we are in love? When we are in love, physically, our heart opens and we expand. When our heart is open and we are expanded, we basically start vibrating on a much higher vibration, which is love. Love is the highest vibration of all. So there is no wonder why people say that he's in love or she's in love, she's on the cloud nine or something like that. Because we are. When we are in love, we are vibrating on a much higher vibration, and we actually access the information, the astral information, and we can get brilliant ideas, brilliant techniques, brilliant everything that we are focused on. If you are, for example, a movie director, you can get a really great idea movie. If you are a composer, you come up with a great piece, and everybody enjoys it. So what is it to be in love? What is it? Why are we so high in love? Because our second chakra, our creative sexual chakra, is very much activated. It is very much open, and with this flow of energy, with this beautiful connection to the astral world, we get the information, we download the information, and we manifest it in this real physical material world. So why not being in love all the time, 24/7, 365? Why not? Why not being in love? If we would allow ourselves to be in love constantly, our connection with the astral world would be direct and constant. Life would be so much richer. When you're in love, The grass is greener, the food is tastier, the air is fresher, the life is so much better. You basically experience life in so many different colors, and it's so much better when you are in love. So why can't we keep that feeling? Why can't we be in love all the time? It benefits us. And even if that person is no longer in your life, if for some reason he or she is with somebody else, why not leaving your heart open, and why not keep loving the person for your own sake? For your own sake, because when you keep yourself in that higher vibration, who is benefiting from that? Of course, you. So why not keep loving that person? Why not keeping that heart open? That's one thing. Another thing, okay, somebody would say, okay, if I'm going to keep my heart open, and if I'm going to keep loving that person, that means my heart will be, occupied with that person, and I'm not going to be able to love anybody else. How do you know? How do you know? How do you know? Why are we all believing that if you love already one person, there is no space for another person? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's remember all the people that we loved previously and see if we still have at least some sort of a love to them. Let's be honest. We still love them. Maybe not to the extent that we previously loved them, because we artificially closed our heart towards them. We got so much bitterness, angerness, you know, revenge kind of feeling, that we decided to cut ourselves from that person that we were previously in love with. But if you will open yourself again, if you will mentally take that wall away, you will immediately realize that you still love that person. You will immediately realize that the feeling never went away. And you will realize that you still have all, love to all the people that you've ever been in love with. What does that mean? That means that you are capable of loving several people at the same time. I had this conversation with my Russian group on YouTube this morning. It was so profound. It was so painful to realize that. It was so painful to get rid of that wall, but let's do that here too. Let's mentally take that wall away from the people that we previously were in love with. Feel how much easier and lighter life becomes. See how much you are not spending your precious energy into maintaining this grudge, maintaining this wall, maintaining this bitterness towards that person, and just open yourself, and you become actually high from the love you allowed yourself to feel. Why not being high from all the love you've ever felt? Why not being in love with people that you were in love with? It's only beneficial for you. It doesn't mean that you have to go back to that relationship. It doesn't mean that you have to go and live with that person or communicate or come back to that person. It doesn't mean that. No. He or she is probably living his or her separate life, maybe with a different person already. But for you to make your own life a lot easier and to gain that feeling back, so you will have this direct connection to your astral world, direct connection to your higher self, direct connection to this creative source. Do it for yourself. This is what we did with my Russian followers and viewers. It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. It was very hard. We had to use emotional freedom technique. We tapped, we did this tapping, saying that I allow myself to take away that wall between me and my loved ones. I allow myself to heal my heart from previous heartbreaks. I allow myself to have my heart fully healed and be open to love again. I allow myself to keep loving the people I previously was in love with. I open my heart to all this beautiful frequency, to be in that wonderful higher frequency of love. It opened our systems so dramatically. We were crying and we were crying and crying and crying. And if you need help with that, I can do that individually with you. So just realize what was really holding you back from keep loving those people. The hurt, jealousy, revenge, bitterness, and the feel of loss. What if you never lost him? What if you will just forgive them and allow yourself be still in love with them, hence with yourself? When you acknowledge yourself, when you acknowledge the time that you were in love with, when you acknowledge that it is okay to still be in love with people that you were previously in love with, you're gaining your energy back, you're gaining your power back. Because when you are realizing that it's okay to love that person, you're telling yourself that I wasn't stupid, I wasn't heartbroken, I decided to be heartbroken, I decided to close my heart, but I didn't have to. I could still love him or her, but peacefully let him go or her go. I could still dwell in my beautiful, pure love, but let this person go because this person is no longer, for example, serving me good. Maybe you were fighting too much, you didn't understand each other, or maybe that person cheated on you, or you couldn't really uh, forgive that person anymore. But for the sake of your own benefit, for the sake of your own abundance, we could have actually still being in love and keeping that feeling of being in love, because it's extremely beneficial. When you are in love, everything tastes so great. The weather is great, no matter how what kind of weather we have. Everything seems so much better, so much more happier, so much, brighter and joyful. This is what I'm trying to explain you. Instead of breaking your own heart, instead of becoming all bitter, instead of cutting that person off and then punishing basically yourself, why don't we allow ourselves to keep loving this person even though that person is no longer in our lives? What would be so awful if we will still have open, loving heart to that person. And that brings me to another subject. If we can love all the people that we were in love with previously, why is it so bad to be in a polygamous relationship? Think about it. What is so bad in being in polygamous relationship? For example, you have three men and three women in one unit, in one little tiny community. By having this variety, men would be satisfied, women would be satisfied in every possible way, because everybody brings their own talent, their own vibration, their own knowledge, but it's based on their preferences, their background, their whatever they have. Another person has a different background, different knowledge, different interests. So by having several people in one unit, you actually benefit from different point of view, different income sources, different talents, different knowledge. And same with kids. If a child is born in this kind of a setting, compare the child that was brought up by only one father and the child that was brought up with three fathers. All three fathers are different. They have different knowledge, different talents, different everything. So all three fathers will supply that child with all that they have. So not compare a child that was brought with three fathers and three mothers and a child that was brought up with one mother and one father. This child will look like genius comparing to this child. But in order to have this polygamous relationship, you need to raise your vibration. You need to get rid of a fear. That's why I started this series of live videos here on Facebook and on my spiritual YouTube channel, because this very stinky, heavy, absolutely destructive energy of fear prevents us from growing, prevents us from living the full life, experiencing life in so many more ways and facets. This polygamous unit will win in so many ways. Bills are going to be so much less stressful. Taking care of raising kids will be so much less stressful. There's going to be so much more freedom. There's going to be so much more knowledge. There's going to be so much of everything. But in order for us to be in that kind of community, we need to raise our vibration. We need to get rid of our fear, jealousy, control, competition, all those low vibrational feelings that are stemming from fear. If you would not have fear of losing your man or your woman, if you would not compare your sexual organs with somebody else's sexual organs, if you will not compare your knowledge with somebody else's knowledge, if you will stop, just stop comparing and competing with somebody else, your life is going to be so much easier. By competing and comparing yourself with somebody else, you're telling yourself that you are worse than another person. If you think that you need to compete with another person, that means you tell yourself that I'm not good enough and I need to be competing with this person. And this is how we get all the conflicts and killings, because when we cannot compete, when we can't really match with the talents and abilities with other person, we just want to fucking kill it. Just kill him. Just kill him. That's it. Or block him, because I can't stand him or her being better than I am. And this bitter, stinky, very sticky energy of fear is still in you, with you, and you wake up and go to sleep with this every freaking day. Why do you want to humiliate yourself every second, every moment of your life? If you want to compete, compete with yourself. Look at yourself 1 year ago and say, hey, I'm going to be better, much better than you this year. Compete with yourself. That will give you actually a healthy point of reference. You don't need to compete. Okay, you can use other people as another point of reference. But jealousy, competition, in comparison with other people, is just killing your essence. I even have this bitter, very heavy energy here while I'm just talking about it. Not to mention actually living through it every day. I do not compete with anybody. I don't care. And I don't compare myself with anybody either, because I know that those are the stems from fear, and I don't need this very low, very heavy vibration. I want to evolve. I want to get as much freedom as I can. But having those fears, having this heavy energy weighs you down constantly. It weighs you down. So, beautiful souls, spiritual folks, and not so spiritual folks, keep in mind that comparing, competing, being jealous, and being insecure keeps you in a very tiny cage, and you are not capable of growing, expanding, and evolving. You need to understand that. Please understand that. Thank you for likes. Thank you. My whole body is just buzzing right now. When I'm talking about love and I'm talking about getting rid of fear, my body becomes really light, and I feel very light, like I'm high. And I want you to have that freedom. That's the only reason why I'm here. I'm not competing with any of you guys. I'm not comparing myself with any of you. We're all different. We are all different. We all have our own talents, our own things. We don't need to compare and contrast and put ourselves against each other. We are all one. We're all fragments of God. We are God. Why deliberately put ourselves against each other when we are all one? We're all one. There's no competition, no comparison, no jealousy, no nothing. You are experiencing yourself through different bodies, through different plantations, chairs, buildings, insects, animals. It's all you. It is all you. All you. Why do you buy into that illusion of being separate, being put against each other? It's only, it destroys you. It makes you feel miserable. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do that to yourself? Why do you hate yourself so much? Why do you punish yourself? For what? Why are you punishing yourself? Can you stop punishing yourself? Can you open your heart and say, I am free. 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 I am freaking free from all this jealousy, competition, comparison, insecurity, all that freaking shit. It's just not me. It's not me. I am a sovereign individual, which is a part of everyone and everything at the same time. There's absolutely nobody to compare, to compete, and to be jealous of. I know this is very radical in your life. I know it probably shakes you and creates a lot of discomfort in your heart, in your solar plexus. Let's tap it. Let's tap. Let me help you, because I've done that already in the morning with my Russian groups, but let me help you with that. Let's just tap. By tapping, we are opening our chakras and we're releasing whatever bad energy, whatever negative, heavy energy we have stored during all these years. Let's go. Let's go. I allow myself to be free. I will allow myself to be free. I allow myself to be free. I allow myself to let go of fear. I allow myself to let go of jealousy. I allow myself to let go of competition. I allow myself to let go of comparison. If I am not comparing myself with astronaut or a brain surgeon, why am I comparing myself to the neighbor, to my friend, to my acquaintance? We all have our own mission, our own talents, our own good things that we have to offer to the planet and to ourselves. There is absolutely no need for competition. There is absolutely no need for comparison. There's absolutely no need for jealousy. And there's absolutely no need in insecurity. I am free. I am free. I am free. I am God. And I can express myself in any kind of form. And I allow myself to express myself in any kind of form I wish. This is my birthright. This is my birthright. This is my birthright. To be free and to be fearless is my birthright. It is my choice. And I choose to let go of fear. I choose to let go of fear. I choose me. I choose my strength. I choose my talent, my individuality, and my connection to everything and to everyone. I choose peace. I choose love. I choose freedom. I choose freedom. I choose freedom. Let's take a deep breath. I know there's a feeling, very unsettling feeling. I know I might turn your world upside down, but let's be honest. Let's be transparent and honest, because transparency and honesty creates a very light body. Fear and lies are very heavy energy. When you lie, when you're afraid of something, you sink in this 3D, third dimensional world. And if you want to evolve spiritually, if you want to shift into the fifth dimensional earth, the earth that is already separating from the third dimensional earth, if you want to be there, please work on your fear. And I will be helping you every day. I'm going to bring up the topic, bring up the angle, bring out the areas where we all store fear, and I will help you to get rid of that fear. Okay? Until then, I love you and be well.